Here is something interesting. I saw this video from David Pakman. He was answering an audience question. He was speaking about Dave Rubin, and I believe the question was, would you have a debate with Dave Rubin? Now, we all know that Dave Rubin is one of the biggest cowards on planet Earth because he has claimed yet again and just over and over again and up and down, he's sworn up and down that he's all about the free exchange of ideas and the free marketplace of ideas, which means, I'm all about bringing on other, people with different ideologies onto my show and having them insert very firmly their ideas into the marketplace of ideas. So Sam Cedar, he's been cowering away from Sam Cedar. I don't know how that one's going to end up, by the way, and we'll touch on that in this little segment here too. But it's a very short video from David Pakman. He is going to explain whether or not he would debate Dave Rubin, and we're going to talk about it. So check it out.
Okay, next question today. David, would you and do you want to debate Dave Rubin? Okay, so I mean, let's break this down into its component pieces. Would I debate Dave Rubin? I would. Do I want to debate Dave Rubin? I don't have a particular drive or desire to debate Dave Rubin, but I would love to have another conversation with him like we did, an hour or so conversation like the last time, where we can actually go through his views and beliefs and all of that stuff. Now, the thing about will you debate X person? I get a lot of this on Twitter, like, will you debate Candace Owens? Will you debate Charlie Kirk or Ben Shapiro? It depends on the topic, right? It can't be just a conversation. There needs to be some kind of purpose to the conversation. And I think that's sometimes what people miss when they simply say there should be a debate. I was once asked, I don't remember who it was that came to me, might have been the Drunken Peasants in a prior iteration, who said, hey, we want you to debate Sargon of Akkad, this guy Carl Benjamin, but he goes by Sargon of Akkad. And I said, okay, well, what's the topic? And they said Brexit. I'm not an expert on Brexit. I don't feel super strongly on Brexit where I would be the person representing any particular point of view on that. And so I said, that's not really a good topic for me. Let's debate healthcare policy. Let's debate tax policy. Let's debate media bias. Let's debate, a whole litany of other topics. But I don't find that debate for the sake of debate, sort of like the internet blood sports mentality, is that productive or good for anybody. So I would be glad to have a conversation with Dave Rubin anytime he wants. He's welcome on my program. I've offered to go on his program, and at one point it seemed like maybe it was going to happen, but then he had Tucker Carlson on instead last time I was in LA, which is fine. Tucker Carlson's a way bigger name than I am, and I totally get that. As far as a debate, I would be glad to have a debate with him if it's a topic that makes sense for me. And the same exact thing applies to Candace Owens or Charlie Kirk or whoever else.
This is a very interesting situation, to say the least. Recall that David Pakman was recently not recently anymore, but he was in Los Angeles in late October for a couple days because he was there for Politicon. We covered Politicon quite in depth. And first of all, Dave Rubin decided not to attend because obviously he's a coward and a moron. But this guy was supposed to have David Pakman on, but something really didn't go right. I guess my understanding of the situation was David Pakman reached out saying, hey, I'm in LA, I can come on any of these days that I'm here. And Dave Rubin was kind of like, oh no, I'm busy, I have these people on. And it was kind of weird because David Pakman said that Dave Rubin said he was going to be in somewhere in Europe. I forgot what the country was. And so what you're looking at is just this kind of weird disconnect, and it sort of fizzled out on Twitter. And Dave Rubin responded to his tweet by saying, enjoy your, I believe he said, enjoy your quest for clicks. Now, obviously that statement just means that it's a wrap. Like, that's it. Dave Rubin, David Pakman, which the friendship was already gone. We had done a couple videos, I think, maybe one or two, about David Pakman was asked a couple times by some of his audience members about, hey, like, are you and Dave Rubin still friends after that interview you did? Because that interview was really devastating for Dave Rubin because there were a lot of lowlights. There were certainly more lowlights than highlights in that interview. So, whether it be asking him, hey, how are you claiming to be a classical liberal, which is about uber laissez-faire economics, while also supporting a single-payer healthcare system? Those two are clearly diametrically opposed to each other, so how the fuck do you claim to support that? And then, he goes, oh, well, tell me the healthcare system do you support? And he describes Obamacare. What? So you don't even know, what single payer is? I don't think he knows what single payer healthcare is. I don't think he knows that. Like, I think if you, and obviously we saw it in the interview, but if you ask him about single payer healthcare, he's not going to know. He doesn't know what the fuck that is. He just says he supports it. And so he got exposed for that. He also got exposed for not understanding tax deductions and how LLCs work in terms of like, oh, Dave Rubin's like, oh, talking about tax rates and saying, oh, I have huge capital costs for the show, and if we have higher tax rates, I can't, use money into it because, it becomes too expensive for me. Now, then David Pakman proceeded to go, hey, like, if you have an LLC, the capital costs are tax deductible, so what you end up doing is you literally deduct it from your, a taxable income amount. So wouldn't that therefore incentivize you to then do it? And his response was literally like it was straight up and then I think David interjected with another question, and that kind of cut it off, which is kind of sad because I wanted to see him flail because obviously he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. But this David Pakman, Dave Rubin situation is a weird one. I don't think it's ever going to end up turning out into them actually collabing together, because they certainly could have done some sort of an online thing by now. I know Dave Rubin's done stuff online in the past, although I don't think he's done many recently. But certainly after this most recent one, not only has he been dodging Pakman since then, and before that, but he's 100% dodging him now. There's no way they've talked to each other at this point. And what was once, essentially a friendship, has completely gone down the drain. They're no longer friends, not even in the slightest. And that's clearly not going to happen. Now, an interview between them, of course, would be very detrimental to Dave Rubin's career because it would be very detrimental to his image. And I believe David Pakman had also put out a video completely debunking the interview that he did with absolute maniac Brigitte Gabriel. She's legitimately a lunatic, but he's just kind of gone off. Even in that video that you just saw, he's trying to kind of stay reserved. He's trying not to, go full-fledged attack mode on Dave Rubin. It's very obvious that he's doing that, which is, I guess, understandable, but then again, it's kind of like, you might as well go guns blazing now because it's not going to happen. So just shit on him like full on. But this is somebody you can add to the list of people who Dave Rubin is dodging now who are on the left. So Dave Rubin, who's all about allowing people to firmly place their ideas in the marketplace of ideas, is now somebody who turns out is just a right-wing echo chamber. That's all his channel is. Because all he has is a bunch of right-wingers on. And so he's dodging Sam Cedar, he's dodging Anna Kasparian, and he's dodging David Pakman. You now have 3 people, and by the way, I'm sure that Michael Brooks would be down to go on his show too, so you could add that up to 4. I mean, why not, right? Because I'm pretty sure he would be down to go on. I mean, I would be down to go on too. But anyways, the point here being is, Dave Rubin is a massive, massive fraud, which you guys are well aware of. But I'm very, very much enjoying all of this dunking that is happening on Dave Rubin from basically everyone. It's become a full circle debunking on the left, which is very enjoyable, where you have Sam Cedar and Michael Brooks constantly dunking on them, which I very much enjoy. And you also have now TYT is also like throwing like consistent, almost like, scheduled attacks on it, which is really, really awesome to watch, because whether it's, John Idarola and Anna Kasparian, doing it, or Cenk and Anna going after him and saying, Cenk is exposing him for being like a massive, massive fraud and just being a total joke, and saying that, he knows the truth about him and he's really questioning, whether or not he's able to sleep at night, which, by the way, is a question I still really don't have the answer to. I don't really know if he is able to sleep at night or how he's able to do so. Although some people are theorizing that he essentially drinks himself to sleep, because we saw him get hammered and just get shit-faced when Brain Genius Dave Rubin attempted to delete his own Patreon and ended up doxing and leaking his own 2 emails, both his current email and his prior email, which was the one that was linked to his PayPal. So Brain Genius Dave Rubin, of course, figuring out how to do many great things, on his show, and just absolute total genius he is. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are on this. I don't think that Dave Rubin is going to have Dave Pakman on. I just don't see it. He's really scared. He's running, and I don't see it. I don't see it coming to fruition.